It's Wednesday. It's January 3rd, 2024. I was watching CBS this morning with my mother, and I'm going to play. It's in the year 2024. It's E3, so it's the third episode in the year. There was an advertisement that was run for somebody who's campaigning in the local area. Now, I was driving to one of the doctor's appointments, and the woman spells her name in the local area on the sign. It's 4 letters. Um, and when without a photo, and I had seen it in Nassau County, and I had said to Lewis, and I had made some comments because of the way it's spelled. It just brought up a conversation and just about, oh my gosh, what must the people think? But then there was this broadcast where they actually made an announcement that this woman is living in America. She's running for a position in Congress, but she is originally from Ethiopia, and then she is so she's Ethiopian, and she's Israeli Defense Force, but yet she's in America, in New York no less, on Long Island, in Nassau County, and she somehow got on the ballot or a ticket to run. So I'm going to play what my mother and I witnessed this morning that sparked the conversation, and then I'm going to recap. I asked my mother, I said, if I grab my camera, I said, will you go on camera and just document for me that we're having this conversation? And at that time, she said she didn't. She says, Nicole, she says, I'm not, again, hair and makeup and one has to look like Barbara Walters to be on camera. So um, so I'm just going to do a recap of what our conversation was, but I'm going to play the ad first.
Republican movement handpicked their candidate for Congress, Mazi Pilip. And Pilip would join MAGA Republicans to pass an agenda that would hurt Nassau County and Queens. Cuts to Social Security, forcing seniors to pay more and retire later. Cuts to law enforcement jobs, making our communities less safe. And deep cuts to our veterans' benefits. Mazi Pilip, handpicked by MAGA to support their agenda, not ours. DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Now, it doesn't say what position she's running for. It does not, but I'm in America. I'm in the United States of America with a Federal Reserve note system on file with the monetary and however else that works with the U.S. Treasury, the White House, and the entire government body and the Independent Hall, the bird, and the pyramid. So the conversation went like this. I said, my mom says, um, I can't, she said something, and I said, does it bother you? I was like, but what bothers me most, because she said something frivolous, and I said, what bothers me most, I said, Mom, is this, she's not even American. They don't even identify her as an American. They identify her as Israeli Defense Force, not the American Defense Force. So I'm confused. And my mother said, well, um, she says she doesn't even, I don't agree with her on anything. She's with this, whatever. And I said, right. I said, see, that's part of my problem as well. We're sitting in America. We're sitting on the border of Nassau and Suffolk. I don't even know how myself to go and voice your concerns for you, myself, and your grandchildren. I said, and yet somehow this person miraculously gets funding, but it's those foreign adversarial voices from outside And my mother says, and I said, because now, Mom, if she gets elected, she'll be going to the congressional meetings or whatever else that they do, and she'll have a voice. And you'll be sitting here in the living room saying, but she doesn't speak for me, and she's not voicing my concerns. I don't agree with her on most of the things that she plans on doing. I said, and that's an inherent problem at the moment. I was like, you've been silenced, and I don't know how to give you a voice back. I would for to benefit and help your daughter and help your grandchildren. I don't know what this is. I said, but that is what they're portraying has been going on. And I don't know for how long. And I don't know how to change it. I was like, but it's very concerning to me as an American, as part of the greater state of New York. Um, and having been born here, um, and with the whatever that's been going on. Um, so it was concerning. And as I spoke to her, I said, but that's, again, that's how you've been silenced. And I don't know by whom, I don't know by what. And I don't know how to get your voice back. I don't know who to call. I don't know how to change it. I don't know how to block it. And I don't know how in this country and on this island, how it's moved into this position where non-Americans are getting into Congress and or getting into positions, and silencing, um, like, where is that system of checks and balances? I just don't know. I'm going to pause this for a second, because we've also gone through this pandemic. The health system is a major concern now that I mean, again, I'm borderline Queens, and I was in Suffolk. So I have experience with what's been going on here that I'm not happy with. Um, Today I went to the physical therapist, and I'm just going to report without incident. Um, I made a note that my foot and ankle's been swelling, but I also saw the surgeon and he took a look at the incision. He seemed to be okay with it. So again, it's just on file for me. Um, but they're also saying there's a person who was here during this pandemic, and someone commissioned him as New York City's health commissioner. I don't know who. I don't know how any of this got put together. Um, but right now it's the year 2024, and this is what they're putting on the news. All right, so this is Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
The rise, even more local hospitals brought back mask mandates, and that includes all 11 New York City run hospitals. The city health commissioner tells us emergency rooms are busy with coronavirus, flu, and RSV cases. Eyewitness News reporter Crystal Cranmore is at Elmhurst Hospital in Queens, where the mandate is now in effect. Crystal. Well, Joe, Elmer's Hospital here is in one of the most diverse communities here in New York City, and it saw some of its darkest days during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, as you mentioned, one of 11 New York City public hospitals reinstating its mask mandate. You have to be careful. It's not only COVID, there's so many things going on out there. It's a battle against COVID, the flu, and RSV this season. And outside Elmer's Hospital in Queens, we found folks wearing their body armor. They told us in the when we came in the huddle this morning. Oh. They said that we must wear masks. We got to work together, right? Doctors are seeing an uptick in respiratory illnesses, prompting an indoor mask requirements at all New York City public hospitals, including Elmhurst. New York City Health Commissioner says it's the right move as we come out the holiday season. What we don't want is staffing shortages, right? When we saw the Omicron wave in 2022, the biggest issues were not only
they're calling this gentleman the New York City health commissioner now in this year, in year 2023 and 2024, and through the pandemic. Now, in in the great state of New York, in my lifetime or life frame, there, if I go to the hardware store, there is two different screwdrivers I could purchase as a woman. Um, One is a Phillips head, and the other is a flathead. Again, it depends on the type of screw. In a construction and building sense, but the utility one would use um, is this tool. And these are the vocabulary and words they use to describe it. And again, a Phillips head is respectfully uh, in a specific shape as opposed to the flathead screwdriver. So I just know in EO me EO that these are important details to make mention. Again, I've been watching veterinary services in Michigan through inc- the incredible Dr. Pohl. Um, he's Central Michigan. That seems really important. He has a very wonderful veterinary practice. He has large animals. He has farm animals, he has domesticated animals. Um, I've been watching, he's colorblind, also very important. Um, and I'm just noticing how incredibly wonderful the portrait of Central Michigan is within this real life documentary of this one doctor or veterinary person. So I'm going to leave it at that at the moment, knowing that America's breadbasket is whatever it is and isn't whatever it isn't, and that I am in an unladylike word to certain personnel, which again I will not speak of, and I will not speak Xeno at the moment. So that's my concerns for this evening, for myself, for my children, and what's been happening. This Something's moved in, something's moved around the island and the city. It's not what was here originally. I don't know what brought it in. I'm concerned about the hospital systems. They say 11 of them. There's more than that. I don't know if I don't know what the names of them are. I don't know if those are just the New York City public hospitals. I don't know if those are the private hospitals included with the universities. Um, and I'm not quite sure between profiteers and privateers. Um, and again, like, where is my peer group when I need a representative? If I need a representative, I don't know if that's who one, as a woman who has had a problem with a crazy donkey and then a blacksmith. I don't know which big brother. Um, do I, like, again, do I stay out of the sports, even though there's, like, again, I don't want to get stuck in a kid to goat, like, call out. I don't know which big brother is the one that is really going to look out for me and my kids. Since I'm not really getting any answers, and there's a whole lot of concerns that I see. Um, from this position, not connected by bridge, really, to the other boroughs, but sitting just south in this Long Island Sound of somewhere really important, um, but having these two very big drivers that I do not want to upset, and I do not want to get caught up in a xeno conversation and what the more powerful do to persons such as myself in the United States and in the Federal Reserve System. Um, I try to remain as ladylike as possible, but within the limitations that I'm currently existing within. Um, it's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. It's Earth, solar system, Milky Way universe, galaxy is broken, and it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.